guys, so this is how I make my chicken broth in the Instant Pot. It's super easy. It takes way less time than normal. You're just going to need some celery. You're going to need some chicken bones. I just save what's left over from rotisserie chickens that we get from Sam's Club and stuff like that. You're going to need garlic, an onion, and some carrotos. And then you're just going to roughly chop these. This is not precise. It does not matter. Just chop them up. And then I use, 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. It's up to you, your discretion. I put this into the pot, and then you put in your vegetations, and then you just want to cover it with water. If you're using frozen bones, you need to I have to fill it up to the vegetables, not to the bones, because it's gonna sink down when you cook it down. So this is about, again, this doesn't have to be precise. So that's about how much I put in there. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper, but not a lot, because I usually add it to whatever I'm cooking. And then you're going to put your thing to sealing, because, you want it to come to pressure. And this is me looking at it, trying to figure out my own buttons, because I cannot remember. Oh yeah. So you do soup-broth, and then you just up the minutes. I do 120 minutes. You can do up to 2 hours. It just depends on how much flavors you're trying to extract, or how many bones you have, but around 1 hour and 20 minutes is pretty close to what you need. So 1 hour 20 minutes, you leave it alone, it will auto start. Ta-da! And then I let it sit for 45 minutes at slow release, and then you open it, and ta-da! You've got chicken broth. It's freaking delicious. If you've never made homemade, you can't go back to store-bought. So here's the complicated part. It's so complicated. So you're going to have to strain all that yucky stuff out of your broth. So I just put a little strainer in a giant bowl, and I just spoon it on in there. Just, ladle it up. This does take a while. It's kind of messy, but, it's worth it. So just get all your chunky bits and vegetables and all that good stuff, and just put it into your strainer, and then you can just lift the strainer out, and I set it on a plate, which I'll show you in a second. I just have a really long clip of this. I don't know why, but we're in it. We're committed. We're gonna keep going. And here it is. So just put it on a plate, and then you can throw away your gooky gucks, and then this is your broth. I put this in the fridge so that the fat will float to the top, and then you can scrape it off. Probably about, a couple hours or overnight. So here it is a couple hours later, and then I just take a spoon and I just scrape off the fat. Now if you use dark meat or more dark meat in there, you'll have more fat on the top, but just scraping it off makes this fat-free broth. I know, it's math science. And I mean, some of it's left in there a little bit, but I'm not gonna stress out about like a teaspoon of chicken fat. So then I take a 1 cup measure, and I give it a little stir, make sure all of the things are incorporated, and then I just fill up a mason jar. You want to leave room because liquids expand when you freeze them. You can this like in a pressure canner, but I'm lazy, so I'd rather just, put it in the freezer. So I do about 3 cups for each quart, and then leave a generous amount of headspace for expansion. And then if I want to use this, the day before, I'll put it in my fridge so it can defrost. If it's suddenly that I need to defrost it, then I will just put it in the sink with some hot water, and then stab it with a knife until it's like a broth smoothie, and then put that in my recipe. This really takes stuff to the next level, y'all. On Flavor Town, it's so stinking good, and it's pretty easy. Maybe it doesn't look easy, but it is for me. And plus, it makes a big batch, so I don't have to buy broth for a while. This will last me quite a bit. I don't know why I filmed all of this too. I'm sorry, guys. This is like the longest clip of me just filling up stuff. Yeah, I got nothing. So yeah, how's your day? Mine too. I gotta keep talking because I can't stop my editing software or it'll mess up the whole thing, and I have to start from the beginning with the talking, and that's annoying to everyone involved. So watch me splash stuff over the side because I'm being a mess and not paying attention. And yeah. Oh, and this green thing fits perfectly over mason jars. You can find it in your canning section of your local store. It's very helpful. It fits all size mason jars, and it really makes your life easier. Get one. Yep. See, just getting all the broth. Okay, here we go. All right, so I wipe everything down, and then I use these reusable plastic mason jar lids, again, in your local canning section. And I just put the lids on top, and then I stick them in my deep freezer, and they freeze. And then I already told you how I unfreeze them and use them. You can water these down in recipes, or you can use them straight up. It's delicious, and here they are done. Pretty maids all in a row. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Go get your broth on. See you in my next video. Bye.